Hi everyone. Hi, I'm Livy. Welcome to Lanka Living and Yoga. Today's practice is all about treading lightly. And we're also going to bring our attention on the first of the Yamas, Ahimsa, do no harm. So come with me now and let's start lying on our backs in reclined butterfly, which is Supta Baddha Konasana. And if you have a towel handy today, bring it with you as we're going to use it to give us a little bit more comfort in a few of the poses. And to start with, it's going to be rolled up and act like a little pillow for our head. So get your towel ready if that's available to you. And either way, join me now in reclined butterfly. Roll down one vertebrae at a time. Get comfortable, lengthen the spine, and then just let the knees open and relax. Now, as today's practice is centered around Ahimsa, to do no harm and to tread lightly, in any pose that it doesn't feel comfortable, that you struggle to find your sukha and your ease, give yourself permission to make adjustment. So for example, if this just does not feel nice in your hips right now today, at this time, you might choose a constructed resting position, which you replace the open knees with the heels coming wide as the mat, about that, and then just letting the knees come together. Allow your back to settle into the ground that's supporting it below, and you can have your hands resting either with palms open or perhaps just on your stomach. Close down your eyes if that feels good for you, and start to notice the natural rhythm of your breath. I invite you to join me in taking an Ujjayi breath, which is in through the nose and out through the nose, creating a beautiful ocean-like vibration and sound with every inhale and exhale. Stay here a couple more breaths. Let's now bat open the eyelids if they're not already there. Bring our legs up so that the heels are close to our buttocks. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, we're just going to gently curve and walk the feet out until we come up to staff pose. Wiggle back on our hips and sit up nice and tall. Inhale to prepare here, and as we exhale, we take our attention to our feet and ever so slowly start to point through the feet all the way to the little toes. And inhale, we come back to where we started, pushing energy out through the back of the legs and out through the heels. Inhale to prepare again. Exhale. We slowly stretch all those little muscles and ligaments in our feet all the way to our toes. And inhale, we come back up. One last time. Exhale, we point down. And inhale, we come back up. Let's just widen the legs, give them a little shake. Rest on our hands, and we can start to circle our ankles in one direction and then the other. Our feet do so much for us, but yet sometimes they're forgotten. Not today. Bring the feet back together. Inhale now. Exhale, we come to a comfortable seated position to then move forward onto all fours. If you like, you can move your towel a little bit forward to come underneath the knees. Inhale, we take a flat back, the eye of the elbows facing the front of the room, the shoulders are rolled back. Exhale, cat and cow. Cat pose, Marjariasana. We C-curve the spine. Inhale, we come back through neutral spine and open across the chest to cow pose, Bitlasana. Exhale, cat pose. Stretching, lengthening the back of the rib cage. Inhale through flat back, opening across the collarbone, dipping the stomach. Exhale, we C-curve, chin to chest. Inhale, we open up. And one last time, exhale, pushing through the heels of the hands. And we arrive back at a neutral spine. Inhale to prepare again, reaching long through the crown. And on the exhale, let's peer over our right shoulder towards our right heel. Inhale, we come long again through center. Exhale, peering over the left shoulder to the left heel. Inhale again. As we exhale, we feel that beautiful length down the opposite side body. Inhale, reaching long, tucking the chin slightly. Exhale. One last time on each side. We let all the air out. Inhale, we come high. Exhale, we all let all the air out. Inhale back to center. We tuck our toes and very slowly peel the hips to the sky. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips are reaching up to the sky. And we are connecting with breath to soften into this pose. Come with me now as we pedal out our dog. Inhale, we come up onto tippy toes, pushing through the balls of the feet. Exhale, lowering the left leg. Invitation to look under the left arm. Inhale, we come high, long neck. Exhale, right heel comes down, reaching towards the mat. Inhale, we come high. Exhale, left heel down, apologies. Inhale, high. Exhale, right foot comes to the mat. Inhale, high, one more time on each side, increasing the twist, looking under the arm. We now inhale high, dropping the left heel and lifting the right foot off the ground for 3 ankle rotations in one direction, followed by 3 in the alternative direction. Inhale high onto tippy toes, hips to the sky. Exhale, we drop the right foot and we rotate the left. Rising again up onto tippy toes and we settle into our downward facing dog. 3 deep nourishing breaths here. An option to come down into child's pose if that is more gentle and compassionate to you today. Last breath here in downward facing dog or child's pose. We come up together in downward facing dog, bend the knees generously and walk, hop or jump to a forward fold. Bend the knees generously, let the full weight of the body rest on the legs. Let the weight of the head hang heavy. Invitation to take the elbows into the arms and just rock side to side, ragdoll. 2 more breaths here. We release the hands. Inhale, we come up to flat back, fingers on the mat, shins, or coming up with elbows squeezing into the rib cage. Exhale, we release everything down and we roll up 1 vertebrae at a time to our first mountain pose. Mountain pose being a strong pose. We stand at attention, tucking the hips slightly, sending energy down the back of the legs and rising tall. We take our drishti, our gaze out to our horizon, and we just let everything from the upper body fall softly by our sides. We take a nourishing inhale and let it all go. Join me now in sun salutation, a variation. Inhale, extended mountains pose. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to mat, shins or thighs. And exhale, right foot back, low lunge. Inhale, we rock back to halfway split. Exhale, we roll back forward to low lunge. We rock again twice, pulling the left hip back into its socket. Inhale, we rock forward. Third and last time. Exhale, we rock back, making sure the hips are square. Inhale, we rock forward. We plant the fingers into the mat, come back to all fours, and lower to the mat, knees, chest, head. Inhale, baby cobra. We open the front body. Exhale, downward facing dog through tabletop position or directly into the position. Inhale here and let it all go. Roll the shoulders back, hips peeling up towards the ceiling. Second breath, we let go. Inhale, we peer to the front of the mat and we can crisscross walk, skip or jump to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, yogi's choice for hands. And exhale, let the head drop and we roll up to our mountain pose. That's it. Let's do it again on the other side. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, we swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we release down. Inhale, left foot back to lunge. And exhale, we lower the knee. Inhale, pushing back to half split. Exhale, rocking forward, first time. Exhale, we push back, bringing the right hip into socket this time. Inhale, we push forward. Exhale, we push back. Inhale, we come forward. Putting the hands into the mat, we come back to all fours Lowering to our mats, knees, chest, head. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 2 nourishing breaths. Bending the knees generously, we crisscross, hop or skip to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we roll up to mountain pose. Let's take a moment to regroup, standing tall, lifting up from the tip of our ears like 2 pixies are lifting us up. And ready. Start with the breath. Everything else follows. Come with me now. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold with prayer arms. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, come to all fours. And you can wiggle back so that your knees are in your towel if that's still there to provide some comfort. We move into some crescent lunge, some kneeling crescent lunge series. So to start with, let's bring the right foot forward into a lunge. Inhale, push through the foot to rise up high. And exhale, I want us to take a moment to just look at where our spine is placed. Let's really make sure that our hips are not arched, the back is not arched, but it's really tucking under, and we're lifting through the crown of the head, creating beautiful length from the knee that's on the ground, all the way up through the hip socket, all the way through the body, and coming out the top of the crown of the head. So our hands can actually really help to make that connection with the body and the mind. And with every inhale, we rise taller, and exhale, we soften. Inhale, let's take the arms both high. Exhale, soften. Inhale one last time. Taking the pinkies in particular up to the heavens and soften. Exhale, we release the arms and interlace them behind our back, opening the chest. Inhale, we look high. Exhale, kneeling humble warrior. Letting the head dip as far as it can. And the knuckles now come to the ceiling. We release the hands to the mat. Put all of our pressure or our weight onto the left hand. We heel toe this one across to create a kickstand, and then inhale, we peel the right hand to the sky and come in to a side plank with kickstand. Inhale, we reach high. Exhale, we soften. Inhale, we open the chest a little bit further. Exhale, we soften. Last time, inhale and exhale. And we come back to tabletop position. Let's all take our knees wide now, as wide as the mat, and push back into child's pose. 3 nourishing breaths. Last breath here. And we push up, coming back into our tabletop position, and bring the left foot forward. This time rising up to our lunge, and we take the same hand as leg that's on the ground into the front of the hip, and pay attention to where our spine is. We use that hand to help bring our attention to tucking the hips and lifting up. and feeling the length all the way from the knee through the front of the thigh, hip, side body into the sky. Inhale, we take both hands up high now with pinkies in particular reaching the highest. Inhale, we reach higher. Exhale, we soften in particular our shoulders. One last breath here. Exhale and we release the arms down. We allow the arms to interlace behind the back, opening up the chest. Inhale, we take our gaze to the sky. Exhale, we come forward. Rolling the shoulders back, keeping a beautiful long neck. That weight is over the front knee, which is in alignment over the front middle toe. The knuckles are reaching towards the back of the room, if not higher. One last breath as we create length out through the crown of the head, all the way down to the tailbone, and we release the arms to frame the foot. We now put all of our weight onto our right hand and we heel toe our left foot to create a kickstand. Inhale to prepare, and then we push up into our side plank kickstand on the other side. We reach up tall and exhale, lengthening every direction. 2 more breaths here. Last breath. You've got this. And we return to all fours. We again widen our knees as wide as the mat and push back into child's pose. 3 deep breaths. We return our attention to Ahimsa. Do no harm and tread lightly as we go. Coming up to sit on your heels this time, we're going to take our arms back down and do some swimming. So take the hands just gently in front of you and let's circle the right arm up to the sky, and as it lands, it can creep forward. The elbow comes down to meet the ground. Inhale, we take the left arm circling high, and exhale again, it creeps more forward. 2 more times on each side as we swim and feel the length down the back of the rib cage. Inhale and exhale. Last time on each side, pushing down through the forearm that's on the ground. And last time on the left side. That's it. Take one last deep nourishing breath here in child's pose. Inhale, let's bring us up to a seated position. And again onto all fours. And this time we're going to shoot out our back foot. The right back foot flexed, creating a long line between that heel and out through the crown of the head. Let's exhale, we bring it in, dipping nose to knee. Inhale, we push out. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, we push out. And a third time, exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, we push out. We return to all fours. On the other side, we create beautiful length to start with by stretching out the left heel to the back of the room and the crown of the head to the front of the room. Eye of the elbow is facing the front, shoulders rolled down. Exhale, we bring nose to knee. Inhale, we reach long. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, we reach long. And exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, we reach long. Coming to all fours now, tucking the toes and up to downward facing dog. One breath cycle here. Bend the knees generously and crisscross over your towel if it's there to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we roll up again to our mountain pose. Let's take a walk together to the center of our mat now. You can move the towel to the side if it's there. And we're going to move into some tree poses. We're going to have a tree pose play, I'm going to call it Vrikshasana. And we're going to spend some time in our tree pose today. So as we begin, we prepare by standing tall in mountain pose, firing up the legs equally down through both hips into the ground, and softening across the chest and down the arms, crown lifting tall. We take the right heel off the ground, and we choose today being kind and compassionate. Whether we take a kickstand, bring the foot to your ankle, your shin, or up to the inside of your thigh. Knowing the ground is always there to catch you if you fall, and you regroup, start with breath and start again. Coming into your tree pose with the right foot lifted, pushing down into the left foot, into the ground with equal hips, not up or down, but nice and equal. And we come into the full expression of the pose. We lift the hands high, creating length down the side body, and we set our gaze straight out front to give us that stability. Inhale, the little pinkies reach higher above head. Exhale, invitation to bring together into prayer pose. Another breath here. An invitation to bring your hands to heart center. And you can also play around where your arms are, taking them wherever feels good for you today. Settle into the pose. Settle into the breath. Find sukha in this position. And breathe. Being compassionate to yourself if today is just not a balancing day. And if it is, giving yourself permission to fly. One last breath here. And let it all go. Swinging the arms, circling them in one direction, circling them in the other, and shaking it all off. We come back together into our mountain pose, lifting up high, energy equally through the backs of the legs, tailbone tucked under. And we start to peel the left foot off the ground and experiment with the position of our tree pose, our Vrikshasana today. We avoid lifting our hip on the risen side, but rather lifting up taller through the hip of the supporting leg. We use our gaze to help us steady, and we settle into the pose. Inhale, we take the hands up high, Giving length to the side body. Exhale softly. Inhale, the hands come together in prayer pose above head and soften. An invitation to bring the hands to heart center. Continuing to find compassion in your pose today. And breathe. One last breath, wherever you are. And let it all go. Swinging the arms up and the other way and shaking it all out. Well done. Let's take our legs out wide today, and we're going to move into goddess pose. So now we're rotating the thighs outwards, making sure that the knees are pointed in the same direction as our toes, and on the next exhale we soften into goddess pose. The arms can stay open to encourage the chest to also open, and with every exhale we deepen. We take another breath here, opening the arms and soften. And then we let the arms rest on the legs and actually start to really provide some support with those arms and gently rock side to side in this pose. You can start to roll the shoulders back, perhaps dipping one shoulder forward for 2 breaths. And then the other forward for 2 breaths. Alternating between both, helping to release and soften as you go. Let's come back to center now, and we'll start to bring the hands and knees out, stretch again. And now move from side to side, coming deeper into our side bends. So this is a side straddle bend where we're moving from one side of the mat over to the other, really loosening up those hips and even the knees, rocking from side to side. We now start to bring in the heels and move into our yogi squat. So still rocking side to side, finding that comfortable position, whether the heels are off the ground or if it allows the heels to settle onto the mat. What we want to do is find that sukha, that peace, that bliss in our hips, the ability to soften and let go. Roll the shoulders really back like we were in goddess pose with open arms, and then just creep the fingers ever so slightly forward, and then bring them in, pushing the back of the arm, the upper arm, into your legs to encourage that chest to open even further, and pushing back onto your legs, onto the inner thighs. Inhale, we reach long, creating a long back of neck, space between the ears and the shoulders, tucking the chin ever so slightly. And with every exhale, we soften. Invitation to bring hands to heart center or remain stretched out in front. Take your gaze about 3 feet in front of your mat and start to breathe. Start to elongate your breath. And with every cycle, we are able to lengthen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. 3 more breaths here. Lifting up through the chest, out of the hip sockets. 1 last breath. And let it all go. Our hands can pitter-patter to the back of where our sit bones are to help us lower onto the ground. And let's turn to face the front of the mat now and creep the tailbone forward, perhaps bringing in the towel to go underneath your head or shoulders there. Lift up tall, giving your knees a nice hug. Inhale to prepare, exhale, we roll down 1 vertebrae at a time to come down to lying on our back. This time, let's lengthen out the right leg so that it's parallel to the mat. And we're going to roll over to our side, create a little pillow with our hand this time, and take the left foot into the left hand for a thigh stretch. So tucking the hips like we were in our kneeling crescent lunge today. We tuck the hips under equally and feel that muscle lengthening as we breathe down the front of our legs. The toe which is connected to the foot closest to the ground has energy shooting out it and equal energy coming from the knee cap that is bent to create equality across our hips. 1 last breath here. Tuck on the exhale and release. Let's roll onto our back and go to the other side. Apologies for me facing the back of the room. So we cradle the head, create a little pillow. We take the right ankle into the right hand this time, and we tuck the tailbone under, creating beautiful length down the front thigh and stretching to create that outward energy from the toe and the kneecap, creating a long, long sensation across the body. Breathe. 2 more breaths here. Last breath. And let it all go. Let's roll back onto our mats now. Taking our towels and creating a nice little pillow for our neck, if that's available to you. And again, returning to our reclined pigeon, our Supta Baddha Konasana, or our constructed rest position with knees falling in together and heels coming wide. Either position, we take the hands to rest onto the mat or onto our bellies. We soften our gaze or close down the eyes. Soften all the muscles in our face. And we move into Shavasana, the resting time. Acknowledging the importance of rest as much as activity for our bodies, our minds, and our spirit. Bringing our attention back on to Ahimsa, do no harm, and treading lightly as we go. Take a few more moments here to allow the breath to come back to its natural rhythm and observe any change or simply the state that your body, your mind, and your spirit are now in. Let's bat our eyelids open if they're not already. Assist the knees to come together and the heels together. Let the knees gently fall to the front of the room and assist yourselves up to a comfortable seated position, Sukhasana. Sitting up high on the sit bones, we rise up high through the crown of the head and let the hands just rest gently onto our knees. We take a moment to give thanks for the time that we've created for our practice today and for the opportunity we have to do no harm in what we do, to always have that as our intention behind what we do, and tread lightly as we go. Let's bring hands to heart center. Thank you so much for your time and your energy today. Namaste. I'll see you next time. Bye.